Hi everyone, Chris here, Men's Kitchen. Today I'm going to show you how to do your rolled turkey for Christmas or Easter or any other celebration that you might be having. And I'm going to show you the 3 different ways that you can purchase it. So I'm going to put the camera down so that you can see what I am doing. Okay, so if you go to the supermarket to the freezer section, you can get a 2 kilo or a 1 kilo. This is out of the box. I've defrosted it, ready to use. 1 kilo or 2 kilos. So this is a double breast and this is a single breast. So it has the skin on it, and they come in the foil. And I tend to take them out of the box to keep them in my freezer because I don't have as much space. But generally you can reuse the foil because it's really industrial strength foil, nice and thick. So we re-roll it in that. So that's the 2 kilo one. So 2 kilos is if you've got any more than say 10 coming for lunch or dinner, then the 2 kilo one would be perfect. A 1 kilo one is going to serve up to 10 people with, or 8 to 10 people with some ham or pork or whatever it is you're doing, other meat. So as part of a little buffet, this is a good option. So for a number of people. If there's only 2 of you, then you might like to look at just doing a chicken. And this is a chicken that has been boned, and you can buy them. This particular one you can buy at Coles, and it was $10. So very good value, because every part of it can be used. And the same with the turkey, you've got no wastage whatsoever. So very economical, very easy to carve. You're just going to slice it straight down, as you will see, because that will probably be double that length by the time we finish putting our seasoning in. And the same with the chicken. So the chicken is going to do, 2 to 4 people. Probably a couple of meals, so that's great. You can also buy boned chicken at Harris Farm, and you'll also get it at the chicken shops, or you could ask them to bone a chicken for you. But this one has been cleaned up and looks pretty good. So I'm actually going to show you both today on the video. So let me just put this one back in the freezer. I'll use that for my Christmas. And in the meantime, we'll do this. So what I'll do is I'll cut open this bag, and this one, that's obviously all Australian. The other turkey is all Australian as well. It is antibiotic free range, and raised on a vegetarian diet and no added hormones. So makes you wonder what they've been doing to our chicken all these years, doesn't it? What I have here is my mixture. So I've doubled the mixture that's in your recipe. So I have a couple of cups of fresh breadcrumbs, and it's important to use fresh breadcrumbs because if you try to use dried like crummies or something like that, you're going to have a very dense seasoning for your chicken or turkey. So always use fresh breadcrumbs. I also have an onion that I have sauteed for 5 or 6 minutes to soften that down. I've chopped in some fresh sage from my garden, but if you have thyme or parsley or something like that, you could use that. And I've also used some craisins, which you can now get 50% less sugar, so a little healthier option, and I've used about half a bag for this whole mixture. And I also have some pistachios in there, just whole pistachios that you can get peeled, and in the baking aisle you'll find pistachio nuts. But you could use almonds if you find those better in your budget. Often you can find them on special, so have a go with that. And then you'll see that I have lumps of butter as well. Now the butter is key to keeping our chicken and our turkey moist throughout the cooking process. So we've got that ready. Let's go ahead and open this. Oh, I think it'll be easier with scissors. They make them so difficult to open. So let's take this and we'll cut down. I'll just make sure I wash my hands again. All right. So as you can see, the whole of the chicken here, paper towel is your good friend in the kitchen. So good paper towel. Let's take that out and pop that onto the paper towel. And then we can wash this and put it back into the recycling bag to take back to the supermarket, which is what I do with all the plastics. I can't believe how much my garbage has been reduced by all the recycling. Okay, so you can see here that no bones at all, nice little boned chicken. So just pat that dry. Okay, and as I've shown you before in a couple of the things with rolling the pork and doing everything like that, you want to make sure that you have an evenness of thickness with the meat. So I'm just going to slice that a little bit and fill that little hole there. So the chicken goes over to there. This little tendon can go down the middle there, and that's looking pretty good. Now, if it's really fat, it's a good idea to pop a little bit of baking paper over the top like this. In fact, I'll take it off this kitchen paper now that I've dried it. So let's say I was doing that, and it's all nice and dry. Pull the skin out like so, make it nice and neat. Okay, and then take another piece of baking paper like so. It's always good, if you're going to bash out the meat to thin it, it's always a good idea to do it from the flesh side and not the skin side, okay? So here now we've got that fairly even. Let's bring that in close there. And with this second piece of paper over the top, just baking paper, just take a rolling pin and just even that out a little bit, okay? So take that off, all looking good. I'll save that because I'll use that for our turkey. Okay. Now what we need to do is actually put this onto some foil, because that's what we're going to roll it up in. So once we've got to this stage, we can set it aside, and whilst I've got my board here, I might just do the turkey as well, just to show you. So let's open this up. Always need good kitchen shears. All right, more paper towel, because there'll be some juices running out of this. And again, I'll wash this plastic, and that can go back to the supermarket. Put that over there. All right, and now you'll see that this foil is really thick. It's fantastic for re-rolling and roasting the turkey breast in. So I'm just going to pull that apart like so, flatten it out a little bit. Here we go. And here, oh, that's interesting. This one doesn't have skin on it. They normally have skin on them. So I'm hoping the big one does. But anyway, we'll cook it without the skin, but I'll show you how to protect it all. Paper towel, just dry that around here. Now, turkey is very low in fat, so it's actually a very healthy white meat to eat. So what we'll do is we'll butterfly this as well. I don't know why they've taken the skin off. It's always had skin on in previous years when I've cooked it for you. Look, they've left that little bit of skin, a token gesture. All right, so what I'm going to do is cut through here so that we butterfly this fillet. Okay, and we might as well take that little bit of skin off because it wasn't worth having. And then the same with this side here. Just take that bit of sinew off, like so. And now we'll do the same thing. We'll butterfly that out. And you can see that all I'm doing is making everything fairly even to cook, okay? And then I'm just going to double that over a little bit. And when we roll this, I'm overlapping just a little bit here, because when we roll it, it will, the proteins will stick together. So I'm just going to splay this a little bit here and even that out. That's all looking pretty good. Okay, so we might just hammer that down a little bit with our baking paper. So baking paper on top. I'll just wash my hands because I don't want meat all over my rolling pin. I'll wash my rolling pin after anyway, but just to keep everything nice and clean. Okay. So just hammer that down. You want a rough rectangle. Okay, and peel that off, and we can discard this paper now. All right, so that's our turkey ready and our chicken. And what I'm going to do is just move the turkey to the side for the moment. And I'll show you with the chicken. Here we go. Okay, so I'm going to have some extra butter here, because as I said, butter is key to keeping your chicken and turkey very moist when cooking. And I'm sure everyone has had some very dry chicken and turkey before at Christmas, and the reason is they didn't have the butter. Okay, so I've just chopped up a few pieces like so, and we'll add that to it, even though I've got some in the mixture. Okay, so I'm going to take a handful of our filling seasoning, place that across and across here, and you can see that's a nice amount for this little chicken. Okay, and then we bring this up and over so the butter is in there. Just squash that down a little bit so that you can see that you get a bit of a roll there, okay? And then add a little bit of butter all the way along, like so. And then roll that in. Peel it back carefully. And just here, take a little bit of the skin and just lift that away a fraction, because we want this to go around the outside and not on the inside of the roll, okay? So we'll just peel that back a little bit like that, okay? So that part then gets rolled into the middle, like so, and then this part of the skin can go onto the outside. Bring that back onto the paper. And we'll grab some foil, and I'll show you how you don't need to add string. So we'll take a good sized piece of foil. I'll move this chopping board out of the way. So I've got one. Move that. And take a second sheet of foil. Cover the first sheet by 3/4, like so. And then turn it around so that the seam is straight down there. And then what we're going to do is roll this onto the foil, take the paper away, discard that, and then bring that back in here. Okay, and bring it all together. Spread that skin out, okay, and then a little more butter just over the skin, like so, not too much. Okay, and tuck in any stray pieces that have fallen. Move that. So give yourself about, I don't know, 3 or 4 inches of foil at the back end here to lift over, and then you can pull it tight, okay, and roll it really tight, and then you're going to pinch it in just like a Christmas cracker and roll until you have it there. That's nice and tight, and you're going to bake that for about 45 minutes, and you'll have a beautiful roasted chicken roll with your seasoning in. Then after 40 minutes, what you can do is open up the foil and let it brown a little bit, because it does have the skin on it. But what I will do that for the chicken, but for the turkey I won't, because it doesn't have any skin on it. So I'll just put that to the side and we'll roast them both together. So here we have this tough foil, which is great. Spread that out as much as you can. Okay, and then, as I said, just overlap that slightly. And then we'll get our seasoning, grab a handful, bring it together like so. And there we go. So then we'll take an extra little bit of butter for this, and this is even more important because we don't have skin on it, so make sure you do put the butter in here. Okay. Pull this back a little bit. Press it in. So push it in with your hands as you hold it up to roll. And you can see that you'll get a little bit moving, but that's okay. And then gradually pull it back towards you with the roll. Okay, tuck all the breadcrumbs in, and then you'll bring the foil over, pull towards you so that it's nice and tight. Pull, pull, pull. Even it out. Like so. There we go. And then just look in the end, and if anything's fallen out, tuck it back in. That's it. And this you won't need to roll as tight as the household foil because this is so tough. So find the end of the turkey, squeeze it together and put it up like this. And there we have a roll. So that's sort of good for 4 to 6 people, I think, as it's not a huge one. But as I said, the next size up, you're going to get a lot more out of it. So there we go. Both ended up similar sizes. So it's interesting that, you know, you can go with the chicken or the turkey, but the chicken will be a lot smaller than this because this is all dense meat. I'll just wash my hands again. I get a roasting pan. Hopefully it will fit in here. And you can see it's quite snug in that tray, so that's good. We want it like that. So that's our turkey. And you could put it in the fridge to set that filling before you roast. I'm hoping the chicken will fit into this one that's a bit smaller. Perfect. There we go. And now what we're going to do is our oven is heating at 180 degrees, and we're going to roast that for about 45 minutes. And once that's roasted, I'll come back to you. Hi everyone, we're back. The chicken, the little chicken roll, as you can see here, is cooked, and I pulled it out at 75 degrees centigrade, and it's now gone up to 85 just on sitting. So I uncovered it for the last 10 minutes of cooking. So I cooked it for 40 minutes, then I uncovered it a little bit, and then I cooked it for another 10 minutes, and that was the perfect time for it to cook. So now what's important is to leave it to rest and give it at least 15 minutes, and that gives you time to make your gravy and the like. So you could put a fresh piece of foil over that if you wanted to, or transfer it to a clean plate, a warm plate, so that you can actually use all those beautiful juices there to make your gravy. That's the timer going off. And here I have the turkey breast. It's a real shame it didn't have the skin on it, because it is so much better with the skin. But you can see here that that is cooked, and I also have had this sitting out of the oven now for about 10 minutes, and it should be about the same temperature, internal temperature, as our chicken. And you can see that that's going up there. And that's at 83, it'll probably go up to about 85 as well. So that is it, what we'll do. Now, what I didn't tell you, I omitted, because that didn't have any skin, I forgot to put the butter on the outside before I rolled it. So I did unroll it to put some butter on there to keep that flesh nice and moist. So what I'm going to do now is just cover it with another piece of foil, just to let that rest. So the resting is just as important as the cooking. So make sure that you do just cover it lightly, like so, and leave it to rest in a warm place, so on top of the stovetop or wherever, and let that rest for 15 to 20 minutes whilst you make your gravy and finish off roasting all your vegetables. So of course, if you've parboiled all your vegetables, you can put them in the oven to cook at the same time as your turkey and your chicken. So your roasties will be done as well. And as I said, then you can just make your gravy and do your fresher vegetables that are not being roasted. So there we go. There is roast turkey breast and roast chicken to slice easily for your function. Okay, bye.